So this video is part of a Django and Python premium course. So here what we are going to show is how to debug any code that you have written. So this will reduce the amount of bugs that you produce by just going through the code in debug mode. So here I have a very simple view, which is a sign-in view. It just captures the username and password and tries to authorize it. And if it's authorized, it will go to the home page. Otherwise, it will show some error messages. So if I actually go to my sign-in page and enter some details, which let me first start with wrong details. So this user actually doesn't exist in my system, so I will get a message that it's wrong credentials. And if I correct it and enter the right credentials for any user, then it will try to verify the credentials under the database, and then the code which we have written, according to that, it will go to the home page. So this is a very simple code. So let me now go back to my, first let me go back to the sign in page, and I will stop here. So this is where I have turned. So I'll go back to my Visual Studio Code and stop the project running. That's the first step. After that, on the left side, I have some icons in VS Code, and I have this run and debug command here. So the option which I want to select here is create a launch.json file, and then I have to click on an option called Python debugger. So after that, I get various options based on the platform. So since there's been Django, I will select the Django option here, and then it will show me the path of the manage.py file which I will select. So once I do that, I get this launch.json file which has been created for me. I don't need to change anything in this file. And then I will also notice in my list of files this has been added. So let me close this file, and if I go back to the run and debug option again, I see this button which has appeared now. So if I click on this button, so it will now try to run this project under debug mode. So let me just expand this terminal a bit more so we can see what is happening. So since this is the first time we are running our project under the debug mode, so it will take a bit more time because it has to generate all the debug files. So here it is trying to now run the project under this command. We can even see what kind of command it is trying to run. So we will wait for this entire uh, thing to complete. So here actually it is written back with an error. So sometimes that happens. So all I need to do is just click on that play button again. So sometimes this happens when you are running debugging any code locally. So again, I have run the same command. So it is trying to run the command now. So this is the same command which we run, but with debug options which have been turned on. So let's see whether it runs successfully this time or not. So again, we are just waiting for it to run. Expand this a bit more. So sometimes it takes more time because this is the first time which we are running this. So we will let this finish the entire process. It might take between 1 minute, something like 1 minute. So now it has run. So now I can go back to my sign in file. First the view. Here what I can do here is, so by clicking against the numbers which are shown, let's say if I click on here against 19, this is called a breakpoint. So this is what I have set now, a breakpoint. So my I can even view my breakpoints in this tab, in this here in my tab here on the left side. So I have this dot dot dot. So if I want to see all the breakpoints which are set, so I see all the breakpoints. So here it will stop on this views web which I have set and any uncaught exception. So this is where it will stop. So let me see how in while running the code I can do some debugging. So what I will do is, again I will go back and enter some wrong credentials first. So if I try to log in here, so now I see that it has stopped on this command. So it has become highlighted and it has stopped at that command. Now on the left side of my code here in the window, I can even see all the local variables which have been set. So I can see the password, I can see the username, I can see other details and all that which are there, and I can see some Django related variables as well. So context and the request and so forth, right? I can even expand this request object and see the internal values as well. So for example, do I have any files or do I have any post and get data? So everything can be seen here. So once I have done that, I can actually go through the code. So this is the option. If you want to step into any function, you can do that. Otherwise, if you want to go line by line, this is the option for that. So if you click on it, it goes to the next line. And then again, I click. So here, now it has reached here. And then I will see whether it is authenticated or not. So it is now trying to authenticate here. So it has gone into this authenticate Django method, and it is trying to authenticate whether this user has been successful or not. So now it has returned from that method. So here I found out that this is coming to wrong credentials. So to run this code till the end, I can just click on this button here, and here I see now that this wrong credentials has been returned. So this is the way to debug your code, and you can even see which part of the if conditionals the code runs to. So here, since this was not successful, it didn't go inside where it says user authenticated, but it went out and says wrong credentials. So this is the way you can debug your code and reduce your bugs.